Alright class, this is a brief tutorial on how to solve two-step algebra problems. First of all, we need to start with a little review, and that is with order of operations. When solving regular problems where all the numbers are put into place, we learned an acronym PEMDAS, or Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally, to remember the order to do operations. So looking at the problem I have written here, we would first want to do what is inside the parentheses, and we would follow order of operations. So we would do the 2 times 3 first, which would give us 6. And we have 8 minus 6 here. And we bring down the rest of the problem. And we follow order of operations again. We still want to finish what's in parentheses. So 8 minus 6 is 2. Divided by 2 plus 1. Now continuing with order of operations, we have to do this division first. So 2 divided by 2 is 1 plus 1 equals 2. So our answer to this whole problem up here at the top is 2 based on following order of operations. When solving algebraic equations, we actually do the opposite order of operations. So for solving algebra problems, we have to remember that the goal of algebra is to get the variable by itself. So don't forget that goal. And that is a very important goal to remember. And we do this when we have multiple steps by using the Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally backwards. So the acronym I use is SADMEP. And so we start by using addition and subtraction first, instead of with the typical order of operations that would be last. Then we would do division and multiplication second. If there's any exponents, we would deal with that third. And then parentheses last. Now we aren't going to be doing all of these in our problems. We're going to be dealing with a couple of them. But hopefully you see that we start doing the reverse order of the PEMDAS that we were doing, or the SADMEP. So let's look at an example of how this works. Here is an algebraic equation. And you can see x is on one half of the equation and it's equal to something. It's equal to 11 in this case. The question, of course, is how do we get x by itself? We have two operations here if you look closely. You have multiplication and you have subtraction. So we have to get rid of those two operations, and to do that we're going to do the reverse order of operation. We want to deal with the subtraction first. Now remember, when we subtract we change it to plus a negative, and you have to remember back to our single steps. How did we deal with that? When it was addition, we would just add the opposite to both sides. So that is what I'm going to do here. That would essentially get rid of the negative 3. Now, notice now this time we have 2x left on my left-hand side of this problem, and we would get 14 on the right-hand side. And so my new equation is 2x equals 14. Remember that this is multiplication. There's an imaginary multiplication sign there. And so how do I get rid of multiplication? The opposite of that is divide. So I divide second. The 2's cancel. We're left with x on this side, and x is equal to 7. And this is our final answer. And this was a two-step problem. Let's look at another example together to see how this might work. We have, again here, we have two operations. We have addition, negative 3 plus something. And this time we have division. And so how do we get rid of those two numbers? We have 5 and negative 3 with the a. We're going to do the reverse order of operations. So we're going to do the SADMEP that we talked about earlier. And so we're going to deal with the addition part first for this problem. And so how do I get rid of a plus negative 3? I'm going to add positive 3 to this side and add positive 3 to this side. That gets rid of those 3's, and we're going to be left with a over 5 equals 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. So now we have division on this half with the variable, and so we get rid of division by multiplying. So I'm going to multiply by 5 over here. We'll multiply by 5 over here. And we get our answer of a equals 40. So hopefully you can see how we have to do 2 steps and do the order of operations backwards to solve for our variable. Now I would like you to try 2 problems based on what you were taught. If you need help, you can always rewind this video to see how we did these problems before, but I would like you to try 2 problems. So if you could get out a piece of paper, and you're going to have to turn this in tomorrow. So here are the 2 problems I would like you to try. Number 1 is 3x plus 8 equals 29. And number 2 is b divided by 4 minus 7 equals 3. Please pause the video, write out both these problems, and try to solve for the variable, x for number 1 and b for number 2, and then we'll go through the answers together. So let's look at number 1 together. We have, again, two types of operations here. We have addition and we have multiplication. We are going to get rid of the addition first. Remember, reverse order. So I'm going to add the opposite, add negative 8 to this side, add negative 8 to this side, and that gets rid of the 8's on that side. We're left with 3x equals, and 29 plus negative 8 is 21. We want to get rid of the 3 that's with the x that is being multiplied, so we do the opposite, we divide. That cancels the 3's over there. And we end up with x equals 7 for this problem. So the question is, how'd you do? Were you able to figure that out? Now let's go through problem number 2. Again, 2 operations here. Right here we have division. Right here we have subtraction. Remember, we don't like subtraction, so I'm going to change it to addition. And we're going to get rid of the addition portion first. And so we're going to add 7 to both sides. The 7's cancel on this side. And 3 plus 7 equals 10. And once the 7's cancel, we're left with b divided by 4. And so b divided by 4 equals 10. Now we still aren't done yet. We still have to get the b by itself. That's our goal. So how do we do that? We multiply this side by 4. That cancels the 4 because we had division there. And then we multiply this side by 4. And so our final answer becomes b equals 40. Well, that's it, guys. I hope the tutorial was helpful for you. Tomorrow in class we will be practicing this stuff. So bring that piece of paper with the 2 problems on it tomorrow so you get credit for watching the video. And we will see you tomorrow.